Sometimes in the middle of winter when it's so cold here, I think, oh, I wish we lived in Broome, but I'm sure I wouldn't like it. I'm always thinking I've had enough, I'm going home to my mother. We're on the edge of the southern tablelands. From here, it plunges down to the sea. It's seriously cold in winter and cool in summer.
23 years ago, Victoria and Gilles bought an empty paddock just outside the small township of Braidwood in New South Wales. They moved in with 2 small children and dreams of becoming self-sufficient farmers.
I tried to grow different vegetables, zucchini and beans and lettuces. And I had quite a good business going with strawberries, but it was just too hard. It was dry, and when it rained anyway, they rotted.
I didn't so much want to grow vegetables. I thought that I'd pluck cotton from the side of the road and spin it and weave it. But we were too lazy to do a good job. People used to be constantly picking grass seeds out of anything we knitted and spun for them, so we gave that away too.
I even tried to have a small flock of chooks for eggs. The hawks are after the chooks. Crows come for the eggs, and the rats come for the wheat. And that was too much battle.
And then we had 1 head of garlic that we planted, and from that 1 head we got 10, and then next year we got 100, and we realised that we were onto something. The garlic was getting bigger and bigger, and from then on, Gilles wouldn't let us eat any garlic. We had to keep it all for the next crop. Until now, it's everywhere.
When I found the garlic, it was just wonderful. It was a crop I could keep. It was a crop which could sell for very, very good money, and it grew very, very well in this poor soil. I don't have to plant a big area because the garlic grows very well for me. For half an acre, I can live.
The house is rammed earth, and at first we just dug up the mud from here and used that, and then we got 4 inches of rain on it in a couple of hours and it all melted. So Gilles' house washed away. He started again and put lime and gravel into it, and here it is.
There was a stove in the middle of the paddock next to the washing line where we cooked. And then we moved to the house as soon as it had a roof on it. And the council came and kicked us out.
There were complaints to the council about hippies living in unfinished houses, and we had to move back into the caravan in the middle of winter, which was very mean.
So we built a bit more and then moved back in. And I think they finally gave up on us after a while.
Celine moved out when she was 16. She went to uni and travelled, but she always returns for a few weeks during the harvest to help Gilles and earn some money.
I enjoy doing the harvest with my parents. It's summertime, there are always lots of scones and tea breaks. He's not a mean boss. He's not a hard boss.
Can you give you a nebulizer?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Victoria always worked off the farm, at first as a teacher. 4 years ago she trained to be a nurse and now works at the local hospital. Gilles and Victoria generate their own solar electricity and get all their vegetables from the remnants of crops they tried to grow commercially.
Elle est tombée toute seule. Tiens, mange.
Monsieur?
Oui, oui, vas-y.
Thank you. Delicious. First tomato of the year.
Gilles doing his chin-ups. I'm supposed to be doing mine. going to cure everything from consumption to ingrown toenails. I'd rather have this than take drugs.
Usually I will need some help. I like to have my children, either Celine or Thomas, because they know what to do. I don't have to even think, I don't have to worry about it. I can just go away and do something else and they will do the job. I leave you to pick. Now I can unload that and come back if you just keep on picking, if you're happy with that. Okay, I'll organize that.
But after 18 years of successful harvests, Gilles has discovered a fungal disease is attacking his garlic and could wipe out his business.
It's a good crop, but unfortunately there is rot now in it. And this paddock, which really is producing very good garlic now, I have to abandon it. I have to change, and maybe I even have to change the garlic. I have to redo myself. New garlic, new paddock, and keep my fingers crossed and hope it doesn't happen again. This rot is a catastrophe.
I actually think he's pleased when there's a catastrophe. He loves growing things, but he loves a challenge.
Because the farm's organic, Gilles can't use pesticides to kill the rot. The only way he can beat it is to start all over again in a new paddock that is free from the fungal infection.
I've never grown anything here, but I have analyzed this soil a long time ago now, so it should be all right, but again, there might be a few minor touches. At every hole, I'm picking up a little bit of dirt, 15 centimeters deep, which I will send to the laboratory, and I will get an analysis of that, and they will tell me which minerals just to add to the soil.
Gilles only needs half an acre for his crop. His plan is to keep moving the garlic plot and outpace the rot. It's early autumn. Gilles has prepared the new paddock by growing millet, which is ready to be cut and ploughed into the soil as green manure.
He used to have the chooks poo all through it just to get the chicken poo goodness in the dirt. Now he does the millet.
Because I'm organic, I do have to have the soil in the right conditions to grow plants, so it's not pushed with chemical fertilizers. So the plants have to work hard just to get the minerals. And because they work hard, I presume you get better flavor.
Gilles buys old machinery, but he has to keep them going.
Oh, man. Something's wrong. Oh, the bloody thing's broken again.
He says that he doesn't enjoy mechanics, which doesn't make sense because he doesn't buy expensive vehicles and they're constantly breaking down on him.
This pin here is broken. I should get a new one. I'll find a pin somewhere.
She reckons that if a person can do it, he can do it. So why get a plumber or an electrician or a carpenter or anybody to do it? Sometimes I get sick of it and I say, couldn't you get a bit of help? Couldn't you just get somebody else to come and help you do it? Or couldn't we get someone else altogether to do it? But he won't. We met in the Lakes District in the middle of a blizzard. It was him and me and another man who was too tired to speak in the youth hostel that night. The next day he was in the pub and he saw me and he couldn't remember my name and he rushed out calling Sheila, Sheila, because Because he somehow knew that Australian girls were Sheilas. And after that we became better friends. And every time I said, I think I better go along now, he'd think up some other nice sort of diversion, like, let's go skiing. Or let's go to my sister's house in the country, or this or that. And so I never went. I never went back to Holland to see a chap I was interested in there.
Now I'm in trouble. The bush is stuck in there.
And I just kept staying with Gilles, and after a while it just seemed to be understood that he'd come back to Australia with me. I got there first, and the first thing I did was buy some beehives for him. Because I think that's the only thing that makes me think that I must have been mad about him. Which I've never thought that we were mad about each other. I've always just thought that we felt comfortable together. But the fact that I went and bought beehives all by myself, when I just hate being stung so much. Anyway, I got him his beehives, and so then we had to move to the country so he could have bees.
Okay. I think it's coming now. I can put the nut on. And no worries.
Each year, Gilles keeps his biggest bulbs to seed his next crop, always hoping to improve the size of his main varieties, the Russian white and the red Italian hardneck. After last year's fungal infection, he's had to be more vigilant choosing his seed stock from uninfected parts of the paddock.
I used to break the garlic by hand or later on with my feet.
He used to come back with his hands all swollen. I think it's a machine after his own heart.
Gilles once bought a second-hand machine to sow the garlic, but it failed to lay them in the ground the right way up. He's happier now sowing by hand, but it takes a month to plant his 50,000 cloves.
Not everybody would like to grub around in the dirt the way you do. There's not everyone that can squat on their haunches and weed garlic all day and enjoy it.
In winter, nothing happens above ground. Winter is a season of contemplation. It's too cold, but that's what the garlic likes. But in springtime, garlic is the first plant to respond to the sun.
There is little work to be done over spring. Gilles waters and watches the garlic grow, but he won't know until summer if he's managed to beat the rot.
Steady on.
At least it's not my head. That's my ear.
Tiens, comme ça, ça devrait... Ce sera bancal dans l'autre sens maintenant. See.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Gilles picked up the climbing bug when his younger brother visited from France a few years ago.
Gilles loves it. He's got his fingerboard and his climbing wall and his chin-up bar, and every weekend he's hassling his friends to go out climbing.
Okay. Okay, I'm safe.
Okay.
Now you try to put all your weight on the left.
I just don't like being so exposed on the side of the cliff. Ouch. I'm going to fall off.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No. Very good. Well done.
Hey.
Oh, moi ça va.
Aïe.
Je suis là, est-ce que ça va?
Pas trop vite.
Ça va?
I don't think we realised that we were living an alternative life when we were children. That's the way all our parents' friends lived, living in caravans and taking baths in buckets of cold water. It was great fun. Once we hit adolescence, it became a bit harder to entertain ourselves. But I just prefer the city. There's much more going on.
Did you get the mail?
I did.
Oh, very good. Good trip?
Good trip.
The children always helped us from when they were young, but they do not want to be farmers. Who knows where it's small? But anyway, this year it just didn't grow. It's an incredibly bad year. And but we'll get what we can.
Gilles' philosophic about the Gallic. He's philosophic about all his setbacks. He doesn't let it get him down. No one let... Whoops. When the frost comes and kills everything, he just laughs.
That's big one. Big ones, small ones, and these things we put as rejects. The difficulty would be just to explain to them why it's small, why it's much smaller this year, why there is less of it. And just tell them that there are some good years and there are some bad years. And this one is a bad year, and if they were all good years, they wouldn't be good years anymore afterwards. They'd just be normal. But this year is a bad year, and that's it. There is always a reason why something goes wrong, and usually it's a human reason. Because I'm the only human involved anyway, it's my mistake.
Ooh. I made some little bricks for you. If the winters get warmer, then the garlic will be smaller. And it was quite a lot smaller, and last winter was a lot milder. We'll see. It could be that Gilles was away and didn't water it at a crucial time because I was busy and I didn't do it, so it didn't get done. I find this time of year quite stressful because I reckon Gilles gets stressed every year, and I reckon he's not his normal relaxed self at this time, and he's often comes and says to me, c'est une catastrophe, something or other hasn't grown or something or other.
I'm not going to keep going. Why bother? I have already said what I had to say, and it's finished. Every year, anyway, it's different. Whatever happens is different.
Every year something doesn't go according to plan.
Yeah.
You couldn't expect it to.
Exactly. And I just tell you what's happening, and that's fine. This year is worse, and the problem anyway will be with the customers. They will be the ones stressing. When they don't have any garlic.
I really thought when I met him that he was the person the least like my father in the world. And yet he's sort of argumentative in the same way that my father was, and says things just for the sake of keeping the conversation going and shocking the bourgeois, just like my father used to. J'ai faim. J'y vais.
Ouais.
Je t'embrasse. Tiens.
Ah, c'est vraiment tu l'as fait alors.
Once the garlic is cleaned and dried on racks, it's ready for sale. But for one last arduous stage in the process.
That's a tricky bit.
My father used to plait his onions. He would have seen the Breton garlic growers come across the channel with loads of plaited garlic and bicycle through the south of England selling it in all the villages. Is that good? Birds outside again?
Well, we're not going to the harvest. What are we going to do this time?
Planting.
To the next crop.
Next year. Might be better than this one.
It's all right. No. All right, darling.
The plaits of garlic have become a trademark of Victoria and Gilles' Christmas market. Usually they plait 2,000, but this year they only have half that many.
The garlic's been a really successful crop for Gilles. He's tried so many other things. I remember as children it was strawberries and then raspberries and then eggs. They've never been very viable crops.
It does.
If you cook a bit with
So
garlic,
we've got $10, $15 or $20.
But now that he's found the garlic, he considers himself to be sitting pretty.
This one until September. This is our last one of the long-lasting left. It's
There is no
$15
competition.
one. Oh, we've got some.
The Chinese garlic is old, it's sprayed with chemicals, it doesn't keep. Everybody is happy just to find my garlic.
One, two, three.
Carla and Anne-Marie left teaching to become organic dairy farmers.
Women have goat herds, so we've just fallen into some archetypal goat women world. You know, this is where the word kidnapping comes from.